I did want to touch on the more attacking players. So Ollie Watkins obviously got his goal from the penalty spot. So does that make him now the penalty taker, which I think is good to see, a striker taking penalties. And also off the back of that, a goal for England, a goal against Crystal Palace. Obviously he didn't score against Chelsea, but he scored against Brentford. Is that now the start of, the new purple patch for Ollie Watkins? Are we going to see, him getting 3, 4, 5, 6 goals in a row now? I mean, don't forget he has now 7 Premier League goals this season. It'd be nice to see him get a goal in the Champions League. And we've seen him, I think it's something like, was it the 10th game that he scored and assisted in or something? I put the stat on in our group. And only Dwight York, he's now level with Dwight York with that statistic, which is, I really like Dwight York. He was so highly rated for us, and it's a great statistic for him to have. Ollie Watkins scored and assisted in the same game for Aston Villa for the 9th time in the Premier League last night. No player has done that more for Aston Villa in the history of the competition. That was from AVFC Stato, of course. Dwight York also had 9. So if he does it again one time, he'll be the record. But yeah, is it a start? Is it a purple patch start for Ollie Watkins again? And are we going to see him kind of go on a bit of a scoring run now? He's particularly on penalties as well.
Yeah, and hopefully that the penalty that he scored will give him a bit of confidence. I know it just about went in, of course, but even that, it was right in the corner, probably too far away from the goalkeeper to reach. But hopefully that is the start of a purple patch for him, because we all know Ollie Watkins, when he gets into that start of a run of scoring goals, he can't stop. But then when he stops, you kind of will see it coming. But I think this is probably the start of a purple patch for him now. Of course, we were all asking for him to be dropped in terms of his performances, but if he's still scoring the goals, which is a striker's main job, is to score goals, and if he's doing that, then it'd be hard not to drop him. But at the same time, though, his hold-up play, his just holding the ball up and bringing other people into the game just needs to improve that a little bit more, because it's kind of gone away from his game now, and I'd like him to bring it back, and his pressing as well. And if he brings that back in, then there's no doubt he'll get more than 1 or 2 goals in a game.
That being said, I thought he really gave Collins and Pinnock the runaround on Wednesday. And I thought his hold-up play was very good in general. I thought it was, but it's all down to, and I'll talk about the support. It's a supporting cast in a second, but it's all down to how many players we get around him, and that's what it's about. If as a defending opposition team, when the ball goes into Ollie Watkins, he could either pass to John McGinn, Leon Bailey, Morgan Rogers, Yuri Tielemans, Luca Dean. Then you don't know who to mark. You don't know where the ball's going to go. But if you're playing against him and the only pass that he can make is to Morgan Rogers or every now and again Leon Bailey, then you just shut off that avenue. These teams are Premier League teams. They're good enough to be able to snuff out the danger. So it's all about options, and what made the difference on Wednesday was the options that we got in and around him. So, you automatically saw Morgan Rogers scoring goals. You saw Matty Cash score a goal. You saw John McGinn having a couple of opportunities getting in the box. You saw Yuri Tielemans getting in the box. You saw Luca Dean having shots even. So Leon Bailey had a couple of efforts as well. So automatically that becomes more difficult for the opposition to decide where to mark. And then that gives Ollie Watkins more space, more options, and makes his hold-up play better. So I thought the supporting cast were much better. But at the same point, you've made the point, we do need to be a little bit more ruthless, particularly, obviously we're 3-0 up at half time, but they get a goal, puts us under a bit of pressure. Maybe we could have put the game to bed. And that's something whereby, dare I say it, on Saturday, we've got an opportunity to maybe be a little bit more ruthless and put teams to the sword.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I felt the second half the standards kind of dropped, but that's obviously down to the nature of what football always is. When a team gets a really big lead in the first half, the standards just drop because your momentum's gone, and then psychologically you're trying to get back yourself back into it, and then the other team know that they're down and they'll just go out to play and try to get an early goal and try to get momentum back on their side. So all these things will always play into factor. But I felt in the second half our foot wasn't necessarily off the gas, but it wasn't landing either because Ollie Watkins had a great chance in the second half and hit it straight at the goalkeeper. Duran had two great chances and hitting him straight at the goalkeeper. So, and to be honest with you, the goalkeeper wasn't great because he was making a few howlers, wasn't
He
exactly
was.
clean with
He
catching the
was.
ball.
He was.
I mean, he nearly gave away an own goal and then nearly gave away it again when he went to punch the ball. But even at that, we were just hitting it straight at him. So it was just one of them things where if we just put it in any other corner, it would have gone in. So I just feel like I don't know what they're doing in training. Are they just deliberately smashing it in front of Emi Martinez, or are they putting them in the corners? Because they really should be putting them in the corners when it comes to this type of stuff. And like Ollie Watkins, when he had that one-on-one chance, I felt he had more than enough time to try and just bring it onto his left foot to make a new angle for himself, where he just kind of looked down and went to hit it straight away. And the same for Duran. Duran, I think, only looked up on the second one and tried to hit it, still kind of hit it straight at the goalkeeper. In the Premier League, 1 second to have a look is a lot of time in terms of a defender. He really shouldn't be up to have a look. So if you just take 1 second, look up one corner and bang, it's going to go into the back of the net. And this is now, obviously, like you said here, the weekend is a chance for us to be more ruthless in front of goal to open up Southampton because Southampton give away a lot of chances. I mean, Southampton conceded nearly 26 attempts from Chelsea, and Chelsea had, I think, 17 shots on target and scoring 5 goals. So it goes to show if we play the way we play, we will open up Southampton, and I believe this could be a riot, in my opinion. So if that happens, happy days from a Villa perspective, because then at least we have a happy weekend and it's high scoring, and hopefully see us, like I said earlier on, just see us open the table.
Yeah.